Welcome to Watch What Crappens. To get our videos as soon as they're released instead of waiting for a week, head over to our Patreon. That's also where you'll find our bonus episodes and our Discord community. We love you guys. Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens. I'm Ronnie and that's Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, looking gorgeous today as usual, my little friend.
Oh, well, thank you. That's so
Everybody,
nice of you.
Welcome to the show. Today is a very important day. It's a very special time in our lives because it is the premiere, the season premiere of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. If you want to watch this recap on video, join us over at Patreon for Crappens on Demand. That's also where we do our bonus episodes. We've got a couple new trailer trashes up over there, so go check that out. They're for Real Housewives of Potomac and Below Deck Med, and coming this week, probably Wife Swap. I don't know, the Bravo Wife Swap thing. Who knows?
Is there a
Who
trailer?
knows what's coming?
I'm not sure there's a trailer for that. I think
I
just
thought
a
there
commercial.
was. Oh, it was
We
just
can look.
an ad?
It might
Okay,
just
well,
be
then
an
I don't
ad.
know what we're going to do, but it's going to be something amazing, so go over there. Also, Monday night is Crappy Hour at 5:30 Pacific time over on Patreon for free, YouTube for free, or Instagram for free, okay? And thanks for being here. What'd you think of the season premiere, Ben?
Oh, it's so silly. I mean, I laughed. It's Salt Lake City is the only Housewives show that can have a premiere like this. Like, kind of heavily produced, stupid, this like a cliffhanger that's not even a cliffhanger. Like, we're supposed to believe they're getting like lost in the woods and are going to be attacked by a ghost. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it was like a blatantly stupid premiere, and it was so funny. Like, they're the only show that can do this. Like, normally, you know me, I would get mad. I'll get in a tizzy, like this scripted bullshit. But it was good. And Lisa not being there, I just read an article in the Hollywood Reporter that was an interview with among other people, the showrunner for Salt Lake City and also an executive at Bravo. And they were like, yeah, like the question was whether or not Lisa wasn't there because she hadn't signed on yet. It was a question whether or not she's going to come back. They're like, no, I mean, we really do think that she had to work. I mean, if she chose, could she have moved her work trip? Like, maybe, but that was her choice. And, it allowed the women to all talk about her without her being there in a way that they wouldn't have normally been able to. And I think we'll see the ramifications of it throughout the season. I was like, okay, Bravo is going to punish her all season long for skipping the opening trip. Got it. What did you think?
Another Lisa Barlow villain edit, which I love because she makes it so easy too. I mean, even in the clips they showed, although the clips they showed today were pretty unfair because they show clips of Lisa being evil and telling people off and having an opinion, but it's all in retaliation to shit they started. So Team Lisa, thank you. Team Lisa Barlow. Team Baby
You got to
Gorgeous.
show up. You got to show Baby Gorgeous. You got to show up for the cast trips. Otherwise, production will always get their revenge. If you are not doing what they want, they're going to find a way to make you look bad. So you got to play ball.
Not only that, but it shows that they can do the show without you, and that's never
the
good.
worst part.
That's really backfired, and it's blown up in people's faces many times when they're like, I'm not going to go. And then they're like, oh, it was still entertaining without you. Bye. We're not going to pay you your, $1 zillion a year or whatever I mean, it's not a zillion, it's Housewives, but still, we're not going to pay you that money. So don't do it. Be careful, Baby Gorgeous. I need you in my life. So here we
What'd you
start.
think?
I loved it.
What
I
did you
mean, I
think?
died laughing the whole time. I thought it was hilarious, and everybody came back kind of ready to go, like with the old season's fights, but, kind of on a new. Heather's doing that. Look at me. I'm just innocent Heather, which she does every season. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear that. She does her. And then Heather's the biggest hokey producer, because she's the one who's like, let's make a whole Blair Witch episode, So,
Yeah.
they have that.
She's
Whitney
clearly
came back.
like,
She's
she
clearly what?
has, like, had her fingerprints all over this stupid premise for this episode.
Yes. Whitney, we see everybody setting up their ham-handed seasons. We see everybody trying their sweet innocent act for the first episode. Bronwyn coming back, just acting like, look at me, just fun-loving girl. Loved it. I thought it was great. Mary complaining about everything. Meredith staying calm for about 5 seconds. I love Brittany, that they invited Brittany back and didn't make her a full-time housewife that still brought her back. I think that was very important. That was a good move. So overall, I loved it. I mean, listen, if I can laugh and this was supersized, so if you can laugh for a full hour and a half, I give them credit.
Yeah, 100%. And I was, again, I think this is definitely going to be the season that the audience is going to turn on Bronwyn because sophomore seasons are tough. I feel like the cast is going to go after her. She was popular last season, and people were already you were pretty early in sort of get it, like sort of being skeptical about her. And by the end of the season, people were already like really starting to go in that direction. And I was like, this is gonna be the season. And even I'm like that. I'm like, it's infectious. It gets into you, like under your skin. But then watching the premiere, I was like, oh, I'm like remembering all the things I really liked about Bronwyn and like how quick and how sharp she is with like a clap back. She's and just so good.
I just miss the constant head nodding of Bronwyn. There's a lot of head nodding work in this recap because it's Bronwyn and Meredith. So in one show, we're going to need to like get our necks back in order. You know, I'm Meredith Marks. And then there's that. You agree with that, yes? So you are saying you're a stupid, dumb bitch and you deserve to die? You are? So there's all of that. So let's get going with it. We open with everybody recording themselves on camcorders, and it's just wacky. You know, it's like one of those girls, look, here we are in camcorders, and we hear Mary in the voiceover saying, true friendship unfolds over time, shaped by hardship, grace, shared memories, and made safe with trust. But when trust is gone, fear takes over, and blame points fingers, and friend turns against friend, and then it turns into a horror movie.
Yeah, and the footage is like when it's the happy part of that little monologue. We see them on these camcorders, and they're together, and they're joking, and they're sweet. It's like summer camp, and they're like, oh, friendships, true friendships. I was like, none of you guys are truly friends. You guys all hate each other. Okay, we've sat through 5 seasons of you guys yelling at each other nonstop over the stupidest things. Okay, like, please let's not pretend you're really friends.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's just sisterhood. It's the Housewives. It's all about the sisterhood. And then, boom, they're all running and afraid of getting killed by something in the woods, and it's all black and white. And they're all shooting themselves with camcorders, but they're doing it from under their faces where they're holding their flashlights. And that's just never where you want to shoot when you start getting facial work done. You know what I mean?
No.
Because like only the facade looks right. The minute you start turning and having angles, you start seeing all the staples.
Yeah, that's why everyone on Love Island looks crazy, because they all have their faces like specifically custom to their one angle that they have on social media, on like TikTok or on Instagram. So the moment that you see them sort of like in motion from different angles, everything goes weird. But what's also funny in retrospect, this monologue of like, when the trust is gone, fear takes over and blame points fingers, yada, yada, yada. And we see this Blair Witch footage. They did not get lost in the woods and chased by a ghost because they lost trust with each other. They are doing this because Heather said, let's go into the woods and find a ghost. This actually was because of trust.
Yeah. You trusted the wrong girlfriend, and now she's feeding you to some ghost. So Angie pulls up to Mary's house in an RV, which is horrifying. I mean, thinking of Angie driving an RV around. I love that should be allowed.
Yeah, I was actually a little surprised that, well, at first, you know, she pulls up and she's behind the wheel. So I thought, okay, they shot the RV coming in, and then they got like a pickup of her sitting at the wheel to make it look like she drove it. But Angie actually drives an RV, and she's in like a little business suit. It was surprising. And Angie's like, Mary Cosby, here we go. You ready for your Class A Greek away? I mean, getaway? And Mary's like, why are you dressed like you're going to the office?
And Angie continues the tradition of talking to Mary like she's a 90-year-old woman, you know, that she's taking care of. She's like, hello, Mary. Are you excited to go on a getaway? Everything she said, and Mary just disses her, and she just ignores it. And she's like, can you believe we're doing this, Auntie Mary? Mary's like, no. So then we meet Teague, the driver. He's going to be driving. And Angie is wearing this huge, crazy bow dress, like a linebacker bow. And she's like, I know by the look of this dress, you wouldn't believe that I would be into RV living. And I wasn't until Sean forced me to buy one. But now it has been the funnest time bonding with my family. And It's the only RV they could find that has a bed the size of a football field so that she doesn't have to touch her husband.
I know.
That's sweet.
I'm
Sweet,
I'm
actually.
waiting for them to like renovate the interior, so it's just a gleaming, stark white RV on the inside with like one like piece of pink that's like a piece of art that Electra made once. It dawned on me, why have I never done this with the ladies? And I know the perfect person to host it with. And it's gonna be Mary. Mary is unwittingly co-hosting a trip in an RV, which does not seem like something Mary is totally down for. And by not seems like something she's totally down for, she hates it. She hates this entirely.
No, she's like, yeah, I did this as a kid. I don't need to do this as an adult. Okay, thanks. Because her grandma owned RVs, which means that Mary owned RVs because Mary inherited all that stuff because she married the grandma's husband. So she's like, I just sold all these RVs. Okay, they all smelled like my husband, and I don't need to be in this again. Okay.
When I was a kid, I wanted an RV so badly. Like the idea of like that you could be sitting at a table while you drive somewhere was so amazing to me. And I've stepped inside of like trailers before, or like I think I've been inside an RV, but I've never actually driven somewhere in an RV. And like I don't like the idea of actually being the driver in an RV, but like I do see the appeal of like, I don't want to camp. I want to take an RV from one city to another and then stay at a nice hotel. I just want to have a nice accommodation.
Yeah, like
during
tour
the
bus
drive.
it, you know. When I was growing up, my mom and papa had a mobile home, and they would take me and my cousin Matt across the country, and it was so fun. You know, we would have peanut butter and peanut butter and butter sandwiches in the morning for breakfast, and Tang. That was our healthy breakfast every day. And then we would just go. I saw the whole country. You know, I saw the Grand Canyon. I saw Dollywood. And at Dollywood, I ran away because I got sick of being bossed around. And so me and my cousin ran away and just did Dollywood by ourselves. And they were calling the police and my parents. Oh, the memories. So I see an RV and I'm like, yes, run away.
Ronnie.
Let's do it.
RV, which stands for Ronnie Vivaciousness.
Ronnie vibes. Run away from
Ronnie
home. And a Ronnie
That's
V.
better. Ronnie vibes. This is gonna be I am in like a Salt Lake City hangover. This is gonna be an interesting recap. Just like, I feel like I'm like, you know what it is like when you feel like awake, but like the words just are not coming out properly. And that's what today is gonna be like. I'm just warning
Well,
everyone.
you are in good company because we are talking Salt Lake City, and they don't know
Salt Lake
very
City.
many words.
That's
so she reminds us that after New York, there were some fractures in some of the Greek ships. So we see flashbacks to the reunion where everybody's fighting with each other. And so Angie's tricking them all, and she's told them all that they're going on a luxurious vacation. Little do they know, they're going to be sleeping in an RV. There is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It is you, Zorba, and your closest frenemies. So, dun, dun, dun.
we are using Fage Greek yogurt as pillows. Why do I feel like the only one who's really gonna be not down for this will be Meredith? I feel like RVs are not Meredith's vibe at all. But everyone else, like this is Salt Lake City. I feel like everyone else will be like, okay, fine, we'll stay in an RV. I mean, this is the only Real Housewives show where they will unfold some Kirkland chairs in a parking lot next to a pile of dirty snow in April and pull out like a tray of supermarket cheeses and shoot a scene. Like there's so like an RV, like spending a night in an RV, this is just like par for the course for them. This is not like the Real Housewives of
100%.
Miami or Beverly Hills. Like this is like a weekend excursion for them.
Yeah, this is actually kind of a nice trip for this cast. They didn't even get to do anything glamorous until 2 years ago, till they got rid of Jen Shaw.
And then even last year when they went to Mexico, they had like an international trip to Mexico. They still had to have their big climactic dinner at a restaurant in an amusement park. Like that's just like what this cast is.
Yeah, that's how this cast rolls. Yeah, this is the parking lot cast. You know, they do everything in a parking lot. Yeah, they'll pull over on the side of the road and have a scene at, in the shoulder of a freeway. That's just how this cast rolls. So them acting like it's so not glamorous. Like, Whitney, you're about to be living in one of these if you're lucky. You know what I mean?
Whitney, you go to Sturgis every year, okay? Like, let's not act like you need to be like feted in like the Ritz-Carlton of Paris.
So Heather, Whitney, Bronwyn, Meredith, and Brittany are all standing outside Beauty Lab, which is never a good sign. And Heather's like, guys, where do you think we're going? Angie kept saying it's somewhere glamorous. And Whitney's like, I tried to call and get that info from Mary, and she wouldn't bidge.
What was that? Bidge?
Yeah.
Bidge? Did you? Oh, wait. Sorry, everyone. She means budge. Sorry. It's been a while. I have to turn my Whitney translation on. Okay.
Don't tell me what I meant.
You exploited my vocabulary. So Heather's like, she's like, oh, well, with Angie, I thought she'd sing like a canary, and she was just mysterious as you can be about where we'll be going.
Where are they? Meredith's like, well, I called Mary. I didn't ask anything other than what I should pack. So I don't know anything. And Mary, we see the invite, and it's called the Class A Getaway. And it says, bring bikini, boots, and blessings. And to illustrate this, there's bikini, boots, and a cross. So,
but there's also an airplane, isn't there?
Yes, there's an airplane.
And it's all like drawn like yellow submarine style. So Heather's like, well, based on the invite, there's only a few places that we can be going. There's a private plane, there's a pier over water, and there's a tropical drink. But then the invite also said boots. Heather is even more media trained sounding this season than ever before. She's always like very good in her interviews, but she's even more like, hello, I'm on camera now, and I'm doing an interview.
I'm a wacky housewife. Yeah, Heather sticks to her guns on this shtick until you really get under her skin, and then she flips.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. But I'm fine with the shtick for now because it's episode 1. Slow burn into it. So Bronwyn's like, well, I packed a little bit of everything, so I've got something. I've got hideous outfits in whatever genre we choose.
I mean, we could be helicoptering in for all I know. I mean, I'm ready for anything. I mean, and Lord knows I have a lot of experience with helicopters. Todd, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Anyone? Think about it.
She's been helicoptering Todd for years. So now they're like, oh my God, where's Angie and Mary? What the hell? Oh, and we're also missing Lisa. And Meredith's like, oh, Lisa's not coming. She didn't tell you. And they're like, what? Lisa's not coming? Oh my God. Everyone who hates Lisa is like, oh, she's not coming, because they were planning on just railing on Lisa.
They were so ready. So now Heather says, so now seems like a good time to update you on where everyone stands with each other. Meredith cannot stand Brittany. I'm not a fan of Bronwyn's. I'm not really sure where Mary stands with anyone, but that's kind of what you get with Mary. And then there's Angie, Whitney, and especially Bronwyn, who are all not getting along with Lisa right now. One might ask, why are we going on a girls trip when there are 5 ongoing disputes? But that's actually kind of tame for this group / Bravo's making us do this.
Yeah, pretty much. So the RV pulls up, and no one really notices at first because it's Beauty Lab. I'm sure RVs pull in there all the time, So they're like, whatever. But then the RV
just assume it's
honking.
a family of 12.
Yeah,
to get their facials.
Heather's like, it's that Mormon family special. Bring all the kids in to start their Botox. Preventative. It's preventative. 5 and up. 5 and up. So they start honking, and it is Angie. The honk is like, grease, 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 grease. And it's Angie.
Athens, Athens.
Athens.
Oh, she has an old-timey horn.
Yeah.
An old-timey Auga horn that says Athens. That's real old-timey. That's a few thousand years old. They found this in the Acropolis. It's an old horn they used on the Argo. Athens.
So Brittany's like, wait, so we're not flying somewhere? No, we are not flying, but you gave me an invitation with a plane, and I'm ready for bikinis. I'm wearing a bikini. And she opens her jacket, and she's wearing a bikini. And they're oh my God, fucking Brittany's showing up in a bikini.
She was going to wear a bikini on the airplane. That's what that means. She was like, who wears a bikini on an airplane? Who wears a bikini on a commercial flight?
God bless
Oh,
Angie's
God.
little heart. I mean, God bless Brittany's little heart. Just reading the invite and taking every word so literal. Well, did they all get different invitations than me? Because it said bikinis, boots, and blessings. I mean, why am I the only one wearing a bikini? What about me?
It means pack those things. It doesn't mean you have to wear them on whatever mode of transportation we'll be taking to the trip. So Heather's like, yeah, you really took the theme to heart, huh? Yeah, I have no idea where we're going, but unless she's planning on going to a pool party with a congressman, I'm not sure where this outfit even works. So they get on. Like Brittany wearing that bikini under that, like, was that some sort of like felt jacket that she was wearing over it, or a felt top?
Yeah, it was like a like a camel trench or something.
Camel hair. I was like, okay, we are so back. So they get in and they get into this RV. It's a nice RV, but I felt it was a very cramped RV because it's so nice that all the seating is like big armchairs. But as a result, they're all like stuffed in there in the back. And Bronwyn is not happy because she says, I live my life as a germaphobe, and it's a very small enclosed space, and I don't like when other people are coughing or breathing or eating snacks, and we're all using the same air for everything, and if anybody could make a hazmat suit chic on a camping trip, it would have been me. I just needed a little bit more advance notice.
You're a germaphobe, huh? Because last season your house was covered in dog poop that you hadn't cleaned up in like a million days. And you're married to Todd, who you know spits at you while he talks and is a constant silent fart. I don't believe you. I do not believe you. I don't believe this latent germophobia.
No. I have a ritual. Every 2 days, I go to CVS and I get over-the-counter medications to deal with any sort of potential germs that might be coming into my body. And of course, I pick up a new bag of Werther's Originals for Todd. So, germaphobe.
I thought it would be special that we're like close, ladies. We can spend close time together. And so Brittany's like, oh, yeah, we are really close. And she's sitting right next to Meredith. She's like, oh, Jesus, help me.
So then all of a sudden, police start to swarm the RV in a sight that is very reminiscent of season 2 Salt Lake City. It's SWAT. It's a SWAT team. But we all know where this is going, because this is like this is the stripper version of the SWAT team, which means they just have shirts that say SWAT. They don't actually have any gear or anything that makes them look remotely like real SWAT team members, right? So they knock on the door and they're like, oh my God, what is happening? What is going on?
We're here for Whitney. We're here for Whitney. Whitney, get out of the RV. She's like, oh my God, what is going to happen with me? So she comes out and they handcuff her. But guess what? It's strippers.
Yeah, you've been a bad girl, a very bad girl. And they start to strip. And then the strippers come onto the RV, but there's like no room for them. It's so cramped. So they're just sort of like in the doorway, kind of like writhing and taking off their shirts and stuff.
Yeah, they just take off their shirts and kind of do a couple of fist pumps and they're out. She didn't really think that one through.
Didn't quite work the way it was supposed to work. Yeah.
When I heard we were departing from Beauty Lab, I knew I had to pull a prank. And so I got strippers. It was harder than I thought to find male strippers in Utah, by the way, which I find kind of odd.
You would think that there'd be enough like repressed emotions that there'd be tons of them, but
I guess it's hard to get them to where they get down further than the long underwear or whatever, you know. But she found them, so here they are. And
here they are.
Yeah, easiest job ever. They're like, wow, we didn't even have to whack anybody in the face with our dongs. We're done, nailed it. Lunchtime,
Yeah.
Chili's, boys.
I will say the stripper quality on Salt Lake City maybe not as high as on maybe a show like Atlanta, but I appreciate the attempt.
They were hot. I love a small space stripper. Like here, okay, I want you to strip for my party, but you're relegated to the laundry closet. Okay,
it's like
if that works.
You know what it is? It's like House Hunters Tiny Homes. You know, like you have like full size, like you can be a stripper in like a full size room that has space, or you come onto Salt Lake City and you strip in a very, very small confined space and everyone watches saying, how can they live like that?
Right.
Just the tiny home version.
Tiny home stripper. And Mary is mortified. She's like, no, I will. No. And one comes up to her and starts touching her. And she goes, you don't even know me.
The stripper there has to be a thorough get to know Mary phase before they can do any lap dances.
So now everybody does shots, and they won't tell them where they're going, but it's going to be an hour away, okay? And Heather's like, an hour north, an hour south, an hour east, or an hour west? Which is it going to be? South. And Brittany says, so we're going to pass my house then? And Mary goes, yeah, maybe we can drop you off. Kidding. Kind of kidding. Mostly kidding.
By the way, I just have to say one last thing about the strippers. I love when Mary goes, I mean, where are the muscles? So yeah, they're going an hour away. So, which is hilarious that they're staying actually so local. And Brittany's, making jokes about dropping Brittany off. And Mary says, how some people just get on your nerves? And it just cuts to Brittany going, I'm like, hello. She's like, yeah, just one of them.
We've got an hour to gaze into each other's eyes, talk about whatever we want. I'll start. Grape leaves. So they're like, wait a minute, where's Lisa? Uh-oh, dun, dun, dun. Well, she was kind of not very clear. She said she had some work going on, so she was going to go out of town. And we see flashback of Lisa on the phone. And Lisa is one of those housewives you don't ever want to get stuck on the phone with. We've both had experiences with them. And I love Lisa, but I don't ever want to get stuck on the phone with Lisa because she just goes on and on and on about herself and never takes a breath. She could be talking to the operator. She could be talking to the guy at the other end of movie phone. You never know.
Yes.
You never have a chance to say anything. And she's like, she's like, hi. I don't want to spend the night with Bronwyn because she's a pathological liar and she can't tell the truth to save her life. It's disgusting. It's literally disgusting. I can't. I'm working. I've got work to do. I don't want to name drop, but it's a big deal. People forget, what people forget is that I have a very full plate. It's so full. I keep it kind of private. So I'm not going to drop names, but I'm going to be with Ben and Blake, Affleck and Lively. So, would I rather be with you or Ben Affleck and Blake Lively? I don't know.
What is it with the women on these Mormon shows trying to name drop Ben Affleck all the time? Yeah, I have to testify in the Justin Baldoni case against Blake Lively. Yeah, I guess I'm sort of a key witness. Yeah, so I've just got things to do. Sorry, can't make it to the camping trip.
Yeah. I brought Ben Affleck in town so that we can go stand up to Jen Affleck and remind her that he's not related to them.
It's just trying to weasel her way into that Dunkin' Donuts commercial. And she's like, and Ben and Blake, she's like, yeah, I'll be with Ben Affleck and Blake Lively, who's married to Ryan Reynolds. So I'll basically be with him too. And since Ryan Reynolds is in that Marvel movie, Deadpool, I'm basically an Avenger now. So yeah, I've got new friends. I've got to hang out with them. Bye. You'll have fun with Bronwyn.
Yeah. And Angie's like, well, it wasn't very clear if it was work or more the fact that Bronwyn was coming on the trip, but everyone is invited. It's probably Bronwyn because we know she's not working.
Which, by the way, Angie saying, well, was that or Bronwyn coming on the trip is totally lighting a fire, right?
Yeah.
And Bronwyn's like, don't blame it on me. And so Brittany goes, well, I talked to her. She was definitely working and she has a huge work thing, a huge thing, something about Thanos coming to Earth and she has to go fight him off. I don't know, she has a lot to do.
She would miss a girls' trip over work? I don't believe it. She's like, yeah, she would. I mean, don't drag her. Don't drag her. Whitney, don't drag her. She's a very good friend of mine. Lisa and I are extremely close. We are extremely close. And you're one to talk,
just saying,
Whitney.
I don't think she's working.
Oh, yeah, you're one to talk. You're one to talk. Your business is getting dragged right now on social media. What about that? What about your business getting dragged?
What? Are you kidding me, Brittany? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then we see headlines that
Screenshots
say
from Reality Blurb. Whitney has been accused of being involved in an MLM scheme. Okay, it's not even an accusation. It's literally like, would you like to be involved in multi-level marketing? Call Whitney. It's not like some investigative reporting going on. It was literally an MLM scheme.
No, I wanted to make a healthier version of candies, so I came up with these like chocolate-coated candies that are sugar, have a sugar shell, and I'm gonna be like, you're gonna love them. That's why I call them MLMs, not M&Ms. So it's like a little bit better. It's like, Whitney, you're literally selling MLMs with your MLM. What?
Sorry, that was a long way to go for that. I
You
apologize
buy
to
an
the audience.
MLM and then you sell it to somebody and they sell the MLM and you get a piece of their MLM. And before you know it, everybody has diabetes.
When you get a bag of MLMs, you have to send one MLM back to the person above you in the pyramid because our office is in a pyramid. It's not a scheme. It's an actual pyramid. And then like that person has to send an MLM up. And then the person at the top has so many MLMs.
Whitney's just saying this because she feels emboldened that Lisa's not here. She can say whatever she wants and get away with it, but you can't, because I am here to stand up for my best friend, Lisa Barlow.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
I was questioning where Lisa was. That's all I was doing.
Yeah, and that was shady because she's on a business trip with someone whose name I won't drop, named Ben Affleck and Blake Lively. So how dare you? How dare you?
You know nothing about my business, by the way.
Well, you don't have a right to drag Lisa. She's a very loyal friend, a very, very loyal friend. No one has been kinder to Wendy than her.
Wait, so, like, what do you do for money? How do you make money? Sucking dick?
Are you kidding me, Whitney?
Yeah. You just went there with me, Brittany, and that was low, and it was so undeserved.
It's not low. Your business is being dragged on social media in the public eye.
I'm at the bottom of a rock. I mean, I'm like a rock fell. Wait, hold on. Okay, wait. I'm at rock bottom, bitch, and I'll climb my way out on top of you, and then I'll have sex with you. Wait, huh? What am I supposed to say?
Come on, guys. We're flummoxing Whitney. We just started the trip. You don't have a right to drag Lisa just because she's not here. And Bronwyn's like, you need to keep your hands out of my face or I'm going to jump in too. So.
Lisa's a really good friend of mine. She's a good friend. And I'm not going to let someone just throw shade when she's not here. That's why I'm recording all of you quietly to send to her.
Heather's like, yeah, I don't know when they became friends. So then we see, she goes, you'd have to ask Lisa when they became friends. So we see a shot of Lisa's couch where she should be sitting and it's just empty. And it says, where's Lisa? On a business trip?
They're trolling her. So Brittany's like,
Lisa's like a sister to me. Okay. I got really close with her after Puerto Vallarta. And just because she and Meredith are close, it doesn't affect our relationship whatsoever.
Brittany, don't say anything mean about Whitney's business. She's like, I didn't give any detail. I just said I read about it online. She's like, especially don't kick a one-legged dog when they're down. Sorry, Whitney.
Who kicked a dog? That's not right. I'm calling the SAPASIC out of Murchison.
Hey, I've got I'm a four-legged dog.
You exploited my fourth leg.
So there's a bump and everything falls off the shelves. So they arrive at the Provo River Resort, which is one of the more scenic places they've gone to on this show. Although there's like a rusted out school bus on the side and trash cans and like rabid raccoons doing like reenacting river dance in the corner. Like it's
a toothless guy playing, you know, he's playing the banjo.
It definitely feels like that scene in Sinners when the vampires approach the nightclub and are like playing their banjos. I'm like,
yeah,
stay away.
They would actually fit in as that cast. The people approaching the religious people. They're like just singing the religious songs on their way there.
Just Whitney singing Mbop.
I would like to sing my favorite song from Temple, Mbop. mbop, 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 hoodly-dip, dee-dop, bidop, mbop.
Bop. Can you let us into your club? Bop.
So like, is that a dumpster? Oh my God. Bronwyn's like, I was picturing like a glamorous cabin. Yeah. Like maybe something fabulous and a chef, but you know, we'd say, oh, it's so freezing. And then we'd run out into the hot tub or something like that. I don't know.
I planned that line all the entire trip. I was thinking, oh, it's freezing, or oh, it's freezing, or oh, it's freezing. Oh, I did it like 10 times, but there's no hot tub.
And it's muddy. And Mary's like, we're not just in nature. We're in the trenches. I mean, there's mud, there's trees. She's mortified by trees. She's like, how dare you bring me somewhere with trees?
I think mud and trees that's fairly well. Mud is not great, but it's like acceptable. I think like the rusted school bus in the corner is more of an issue for me. I thought it was actually funny when someone said, "There's a dumpster." I'm like, well, at least there's someplace to put your trash. I'd be happy to see a dumpster personally.
Yeah. So Whitney's like, I grew up in a Winnebago, which no one is shocked by. And Mary's like, yeah, I don't know how my name got attached to this trip. Like, this is not me. I did not do this.
Whitney and the Winnebago. I don't know. The Whitney, Winnebago is different than saying that you won a bagel once when you grew up.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Well, cheers, everyone. Welcome to nature. Let us have lunch. I got a sandwich trays from the store. So no one's allowed to have phones or anything. And then Brittany, of course, stands up and immediately is like, everybody, I have a little activity planned for us. Yes, I didn't clear it with the hostesses, but I actually think since I'm the video girl and you all know me as the video girl, it's kind of my wrap around here. It's so fun. Isn't it fun, girls? And they're all just staring at her like, you recorded us and that was not funny, ma'am. Brittany brings it back like it's one of her greatest hits. She's like, yeah, remember me? Recording girl.
She's like, well, so I had somehow landed a corporate sponsorship and you all have camcorders. So she gives them all camcorders. I was surprised at how jealous I was in that moment. I was like, I want a camcorder. I don't know why, because we all have our phones. Like there's literally no need for a camcorder anymore, which is sad. But it was also like so Brittany to be like, here's a piece of antiquated technology that you have no use for and you already have all the capabilities on your phone, but it's another piece of clutter for your house. Enjoy. And they all were looking at her like, what is wrong with this woman? And yet they did also the thing that I would do, which was immediately get onto their camcorders and shoot all sorts of silly videos like they were kids again.
Yeah. Yeah, they were looking at her like, you're fucking crazy. But that's another thing I really like about this cast is they'll do it. They're like, okay. I mean, we're playing with camcorders. We'll do it. We all hate Brittany and want to, set her on fire, but we'll do this. And we don't want to be here camping, but I guess we're just going to do this. So let's, they're all game.
I love that this camcorders is their special treat. Like, you go on to Beverly Hills and Kathy Hilton's giving everyone like Baccarat glass, or, they're flying on Stephanie Shojai's private plane to Sevilla, then down to Marbella, then up back to Sevilla, then back to Miami. And here it's like, you all get a camcorder.
Yeah.
Here it is, a camcorder. We went to Best Buy and picked this up on the way. Enjoy.
Yeah. So they make a bunch of funny videos and stuff. And of course, Mary's camcorder goes black immediately. And you just hear her going, how does this work?
I think she hit the fade out button because it like faded to black. And she's like, wait, what? Which is, she didn't realize. I mean, that fade out button, I don't know, Ronnie, when you were a kid, how much did you love the fade out button? Like you'd be like, every time you make these little scenes, it's like, well, here I am walking through the kitchen and scene, fade out. that was like my director's touch.
No, I never used any of that stuff. I just used the main, because you know me, I'm like, fix it in post. It'd be like, okay, here I am standing in front of my mother's bedroom. Okay, cut. I never cut it. I'm just like, someone will edit that later. There's so many videos of me as a kid going, cut. It's like, you're recording yourself, you moron. There's nobody to cut this. So Whitney's like, this wasn't on my bingo card for today, but I'm happy to be here with all of you. I just love being in nature. It just puts everything into perspective. Like, why didn't Lisa come? Let's think about it. When someone plans a girls' trip, you go. And when you don't go, it's to make a statement. Like, we would have rearranged a trip around her, but it's just a way for her to say, I'm not into you guys as much as you're into me. And oh gosh, Heather always makes it like, oh my God, she wouldn't invite me to her lunch table at BYU.
That's exactly right.
Every single time it goes back to that.
Well, she hasn't shared anything with me, but I read what's online. And, you know, we always have to believe everything we read online, unless you read something about Prism. And I think that there's just like a lot out there. You know,
Were you just?
like she has.
I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, she was just getting mad at Brittany because Brittany read stuff about Whitney's business. Why are you reading things on Blibs of Reality? But now she's like, well, I read stuff on Reality Burp that says that Lisa killed 10 people. So I don't know.
Yeah. She has a lot of people accusing her of crazy accusations. Oh God, I love Whitney English. Just love
accusing her of accusations. I heard that Lisa's been accusing people of things. You're an accuser.
Didn't she just mention this the other day, Heather, to you and say everything was okay? And Heather's like, yeah, she said it was all bullshit. That's what she said. But Heather, aren't you claiming in about 5 minutes that you've heard none of this? Heather's so bad. Then Brittany's like, well, that's what she said to me too. As her best friend, I think I would know.
Well, interesting timing. Interesting timing for Lisa to be too busy. That's air quotes, okay? To go on a free girls trip. Maybe she's air quote too busy reading about herself in the press with all of her lawsuits. It's just very convenient timing for Lisa's schedule to be maxed out.
Yeah, because what I've heard
nod.
is knock knock who? Who's there?
No, I said nod.
Who's there?
Oh, who's there? Orange. Wait, I always thought it was called a nod joke.
Bronwyn is nodding so emphatically that Brittany thinks it's a knock joke.
Hello?
Whitney.
Hello? Someone there?
Well, what I've heard is that there's multiple issues and some of them are not done yet. They're not done. That's what I heard. They're not done. I've changed to shaking my head now. What do you think of that? Oh, now I'm nodding again. Now I'm nodding again.
Go back to the nodding.
It's very serious.
For somebody who's so worried, you know what? Now we're going to get serious because I'm going to not only nod, but I'm going to go to a 3/4 view when I talk. Okay. Because for somebody who's so worried about my finances, and now let's move all the shoulders forward and do some extra, lurch forward to really emphasize some things, nod and lurch about your jewelry. Someone who's so interested about jewelry or what your husband may or may not have done. And that she heard from someone else, nod, and never did. I mean, whatever you want to call it. For somebody who talks an awful lot, maybe she should spend some of that time working on some of the stuff she's got to fix. Nod, big nod.
Well, wouldn't not showing up on a girls' trip to work be working on some of the things that she's going to fix? I don't know. It feels like she's already doing what you want her to do. So Angie's like, you seem to know something that you don't want to say. And Heather's like, spit it out, Bronwyn. Just say it. Just say it, Brynwyn. Just say it, Brynwyn.
Well, Lisa's go-to accusation is that all of us are liars when she doesn't like what we say. And then she is the one pointing it out and never sharing with us what's hard or what's difficult or messy or frankly, maybe even fucking bullshit about her own life. Guess what? She doesn't even go to Wendy's. I tracked her. There, I said it.
That's why she talks so. Because then if she talks, then other people don't have to say that she talks about accusations about it. Burn! Well, Mary's like, yeah, we can't talk about her stuff, but she can always talk about ours. Oh, yeah. And by the way, most of the lawsuits that I've looked at, I mean, I don't know how many there are. I don't. Hold on. Let me shake my head for a second just to emphasize. I do not know how many there are. 100, 110, 3,000? I don't know. But I've seen at least 5 that have been filed against Lisa or Lisa's businesses or Lisa and her husband or Lisa and her husband's businesses or businesses and Lisa and her husband and his businesses along with Lisa. That's what I've seen.
And one against Henry, which was weird.
I've seen it.
And Heather's like file lawsuits against Lisa Barlow. Yeah, Lisa and John. Yeah. It's like, I don't understand. What is a lawsuit? I don't even know. Is that like a little outfit you put on the law to make the law more acceptable to people? And Bronwyn's like, no, these are serious allegations. And it's for a lot of money. Well, I mean, so she's litigating? She's in court right now? I don't understand.
Even though I just said I spoke to Lisa about this and she said all the accusations are bullshit, I didn't even know there were accusations. What are you talking about? I've never heard of anything like this. And what are you doing? Reading testimonials? Are you Googling? What are you doing, Bronwyn? And she's like, it was in the Salt Lake City Tribune, Heather. Okay, the Tribune. Everybody
I'm not
reads the
familiar.
Tribune. Everybody does.
What is the Tribune? Is that like a bus? Is that a new bus line that people are taking? I don't know what these things are. Salt Lake Tribune.
It is everywhere. Angie, have you seen it? She's like, I have seen it. You've seen it too. Mary, you've seen it. You've seen it too. Teague, have you seen it? Teague has seen it. Teague has seen it. And Heather's like, what? I've never heard of any of this. This is absolute insanity. I love Heather, but right now, for you to pretend you didn't see it, I think Stevie Wonder saw it. Stevie Wonder's at home like, well, hey, why are you dragging me into this?
Don't, please don't. Please don't. I thought we were past Stevie Wonder jokes. Didn't we leave those in the 80s? So Angie is like, if you're saying you don't know, you're playing stupid. And we've all seen the same things. Lisa talks a big game. And then you hear all this other stuff going on. It's weird. Huh? Oh, God. This whole thing makes me uncomfortable. Why Bronwyn thinks she would tell us this? Why everyone at the table seems so riveted by it? I mean, Lisa and I have worked really hard on our friendship, and I want to be a supportive friend. So every instinct in my body is like, defend your friend. I'm just thinking about what I would want someone to do in that position for me. And when I thought about it, I thought, I would like them to get me a very small bolero jacket to hide in.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Borrowing money is part of business. And I think the lawsuits are about borrowing money. I mean, what are you going to do? It's part of doing business. Like, yeah, but so is paying it back. So is paying it back. You've got to pay the money back. You've got to pay it back.
Well,
and
yeah,
I'm saying this is Bronwyn, and this is the only name that I've ever used, and I've never been accused of anything in Grand Theft Auto, so I don't want anybody even to mention that, okay? At least for a few episodes, okay? This is about Lisa today.
Yeah, well, it's like I told my toddler, you have to pay the nice man if you want to keep the electronic fly swatter, okay? And he did, because it's business.
And Angie's like, Heather, one might say it is similar to what Jen Shaw did.
And
no,
this is
not
a real sticking point. It's not. And this is going to be a thing. I know this is going to be a thing. Like, fast forward to like 2 weeks from now, Lisa be like, how could you say I was like Jen Shaw? That is the worst thing you could ever say about me. I guarantee that stupid line is going to haunt it. And the reason why also is because in this Hollywood Reporter article, the journalist says, well, Angie says in the premiere that Lisa is like Jen Shaw. What do you guys think about that? I was like, okay, this is going to be a thing. This is going to be a talking point because like, I just feel like it's going to be a whole thing. Because, you know, Heather's going to say, well, Angie was saying that you were like Jen Shaw. She said that about me. Oh, just brace yourselves, everyone.
What the fuck are you spewing from your mouth, Angie K? I don't even understand Angie's analogy. I mean, these are not criminal charges. This is a civil lawsuit that has yet to go to trial. And this is coming from DJ lawyer Meredith Marks. Okay? The state of Utah is not coming after Lisa Barlow, nor is the United States of America, nor are 5 bean salads for that matter.
But I'll tell you who is coming after Lisa Barlow. Me, because I need an extra hand to help me slice this lemon because my sister is busy this weekend.
I mean, this is blowing my GD mind. You're comparing LB to Jen Shaw, and you two are like bonding over this? What is going on? Why are we even talking about Jen Shaw? We shouldn't be talking about her. We shouldn't say her name. We shouldn't unearth her spirit because she's in prison where she belongs. You better watch your mouth because Jen Shaw is about to be out in 5 minutes, and she is going to come curb stomp you. She's got new tricks. Okay.
What about me? What about my curb? So Bronwyn's like, I know, okay, Heather, I know you can't stand me, and that's fine. You don't have to. Heather's like, that's not true. It's like, but you just said if anybody compared someone to Jen, it would be too far. What about when Lisa compared me to Jen? Was it too far then? Lisa publicly tweeted that. Heather's like, I I didn't hear that. And if I did hear that, I probably would have laughed. She's, well, I just told you. It's like, well, I'm not on Twitter Googling your fucking name, Bronwyn. I have a relationship with you based on this. And what I have on you is not great. And I'm not going to sit here and have you tell me all this shit about Lisa's business when you just got caught red-handed lying about a $4 million necklace. Like,
Oh.
she is quick.
Oop. So, oop. Might I add a in there? Thank you. So we see a flashback to the necklace where Andy's like, so you do have a necklace? She's like, oh, you know what I should do? I should probably have shown it. I should probably have brought it so I could show the other ladies. That would have been great, wouldn't it? I could have done that. I sure could have. Yeah, I could have.
Is this, Bronwyn, is this retaliation to the necklace? Is that what this is? She goes, well, you know what? Bronwyn says, it's my fault. I should not have tried to be cutesy about the $4 million necklace that I didn't buy, but I could have if I wanted to, but I didn't buy. She's like, but you didn't own the necklace. No, and I said I shouldn't have said it that way. I shouldn't have said I own the necklace when I didn't have it. I shouldn't have said it that way. I should have said I don't own the necklace. That's my fault. That's my cross to bear. Yeah.
I get it. I was just trying to protect myself and the jeweler, and it came out sounding like a lie, and that's bad on me because it was a lie I should have made sound like the truth more. So that's on me. I should have made it sound more truthful.
Yeah. I knew I wasn't going to buy the necklace, but I made the girls believe that I had it by saying, you know, when I wear it, you'll see it, and thinking that I would get a different version and they just wouldn't notice because they're all stupid. You know, it's between you and me, America. That's okay. And that was wrong. And how did that become more important to me than my integrity or the importance of Todd and our anniversary? I thought that I was being tough enough to not give a damn about what anyone else thinks. And I thought they were dumb enough to not follow up.
Yeah.
Away.
And just this whole monologue, she's doing this really tight smile while she nods. And you know that Todd is making her do this because she does not look happy that she has to do this. But she's like, and, you know, I know it sounded like a lie. And that is unfortunate because I was just trying to look cool. And I don't know why I would do this to Todd and I's anniversary because Todd is very important to me. And I would never want to embarrass Todd over this. It's like, oh God, so things are going real well over there with Todd, huh? Jeez.
See, my take on it was a little different because I thought this was like a masterful, like sort of faux owning my mistake moment by her. And this is sort of like one of the reasons why I really, really love Bronwyn, because she's like, yeah, I said it in a way that sounds like a lie. And then like, it's just basically like I kind of did lie. And I did it because she does this thing like, I can't believe it was more important for me to lie in that moment than it was to uphold like my situation with Todd and our anniversary or whatever. And I just did it to feel cool. And I thought they wouldn't notice because I just conned them with this another stupid thing. So she's basically saying, yes, I lied, but I lied because I thought they'd be too stupid to catch me. And I was doing it so that way I could feel cool. So like she somehow admits it in a way that makes you feel sympathetic for her. And it's like the implication is I did it to feel cool because the other women are such bitches that they wouldn't let me into their group on my own. So I had to resort to this tactic. And I was like, that is so shrewd. Like that's so shrewd the way she subtly like inserts these elements into this mea culpa moment. I love it.
It's like she's both doing that, what you said, and she's also doing a little bit of like, well, it wasn't really a lie, but these women are too stupid to understand English. So I guess technically it was a lie, even though it was just how I use words. You know, like they're just, I guess I'll apologize because they're just all idiots.
Yeah, I think she said she was trying to be, I think she's like trying to say that she was trying to be coy. But people were like, no, you said you were going to buy a necklace and you didn't buy it. We haven't seen it yet. So did you buy your necklace yet?
Yeah.
We don't care about your coy remarks.
So Brittany's like, all you have to do is say, I lied. I'm sorry. The end. And she goes, oh, well, let me know when you've cleared up the lies that you've told Boo Boo. Okay. How about that?
And Ramen is like, and then we'll talk about you telling me how to clear up mine. Okay. She's like, well, don't call me Boo Boo. That's so condescending. Call me Miss Boo Boo. Thank you very much.
Does everyone here know what it's like to not be on a trip with your friends and have them all talk about you? And this is a pivot to me talking about when Bronwyn didn't invite me on that trip last year. Okay. So surely you're going to let me go off on this. And Mary goes, I do. Because I was on a trip with my friends, and when I went to bed, all of my friends, Lisa, talked about me. So I know what it's like. Heather's like,
And he's
okay,
like,
well, I guess I'm not going to get to complain about my last time that I was kicked off the lunch table.
wow, Mary really went up me on that one. And she's like, Gia said some things, and Gia's had information outside of Brittany about everyone at the table. And then we see a series of Lisa flashbacks. Like, I heard Sean does circle jerks.
Yeah, but that was a response.
Such a big one to jump out of the gate with.
Yeah, I know, but they edit this. This is what I was talking about earlier, how they edit this all to make it look like this is Lisa being a monster. But Lisa just said that because Whitney was spreading around that John was cheating or whatever, or that he was making out with people and Lisa was giving people hand jobs or whatever the fuck that thing was. And then the next one is Meredith said I had mental issues. Oh my God. I don't pop pills, bitch. You do. Again, that was a response. Cameron has had religious trauma being a member of Mary's church. He mortgaged his house and gave her 300 grand. Which was when she was fighting with Mary. Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
I just chuckled for some reason.
For that one.
But that shit was funny. Just makes me chuckle. I was like,
funny. And Whitney's saying, you plant things about my marriage and my business. Oh yeah, go get your proof, and then I'm gonna sue the fuck out of you.
Yeah. So, and then Lisa is saying she said there was this other thing about this honor code. It just is a lot of Lisa stuff.
The jeweler comes up, or Lisa is saying the jeweler said you guys didn't buy it or the hoop earrings, and Bronwyn's saying, well, that's very weird that a jeweler would tell someone else what I did or didn't say, isn't it? Okay, so in all of these, Lisa was either retaliating or just completely right. So whatever.
Also,
people.
I mean, if you want to talk about like, oh, Lisa always seems to have all the information on people. We got a whole season of Whitney saying, you did jizz for jazz, okay? I mean, it was a whole season of accusations that Lisa Barlow was trading sexual favors to get tickets to a jazz game. So, like, you all have tabs on each other, okay? You all do.
This cast, the shit they do on this show is so funny. And I love all the flashback clips because half of them, they're in crazy costumes too when they're fighting. Bad wigs. It's like Marilyn Monroe yelling, you called me a whore to my husband. So then we cut back, and Meredith's like, listen, let's just deal with this with Lisa. I mean, we don't know what's going on, and Lisa's not here, so why are we talking about it without Lisa?
Yeah, okay. And Brom was like, I'm not trying to do it behind her back. Meredith's like, I don't care. I can do with or without her. I'm good. Meredith is like, well, I'm not pointing fingers at you. I'm saying this is where the whole conversation went, and I think that we should just pivot, and I would literally listen to anything else right now than talk about Lisa. So Brittany's like, hey guys, ding, 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 ding. Oh God, I never should have said we should pivot.
You guys, you know that I'm kind of the announcement girl. So here I am making an announcement, standing up, dinging a water bottle. Okay, guys, Jared and I got engaged. And they all just stare at her. Meredith's head is just sideways and it's like slightly twitching like, really?
Yes. And then we got unengaged 2 weeks after that. Mary goes, what in the world?
Well, that was short and sweet. Brittany doesn't understand how an announcement works, Heather. And Brittany's like, we just decided, you know what, our kids aren't on board. And we just really want our kids to be a part of it. And they weren't happy because we were so on and off last year. And so, yeah, we decided to call it off. So ding, ding, ding. Yeah, it's a double announcement. We got engaged and then we broke off the engagement. So guess what? Shop is open for hugs. If anybody wants to bring their hugs in, I'm here.
Well, our kids are really not in support of it because we've just been so on and off. And so to prove to our kids that those days of us being on and off are over, we decided to turn off our engagement that we just turned on. So that's it, everyone. That's it.
Is he dating other women? No, he's still turning me on. Okay. Well, are you still seeing him? Yeah, like every day. And Mary goes, oh my God, help me, Lord. And Whitney goes, really? Because I run into him at the gym all the time.
Yeah, and he appears single. And Heather's like, what do you mean he appears single? Like, he just like shows up out of nowhere. He just appears and then he does it on his own. No, I'm just saying I never see him on a machine. I see him at the Lifetime Cafe on dates. And Brittany's like, I mean, he's a really social person. Like, no, but he's on dates. And he introduces me to them. Like, here's my date. And I'm like, hi, I'm Whitney. Do you want to buy some Prism jewelry?
And they say no. And I'm like, but my business. It's really awkward every time.
Well, first of all, is it even considered a date if you're meeting at the Lifetime Cafe? When he's like, don't diss the Lifetime Cafe. It's amazing. You'd be surprised. Don't sleep on the chicken salad. Heather's like, I've literally slept on chicken salad and I feel judged. I'm feeling judged right now.
Whitney's business must really be failing if she's probably been paid to somehow put in this weird endorsement for the Lifetime Cafe in her gym.
At the 24-hour
Lifetime
fitness.
Cafe now offering breakfast Monday through Friday. Try their granola. It's delish.
Well, this is a good time to break. We have fun activities planned, ladies. Some will go fishing. I remember the first time we went camping in our RV. We went fly fishing, and Electra caught her first fish, and I flew. It was super exciting. Great camping activity. So everybody's just like, oh, Jesus, now we have to fucking fish. They just stare at her like, I'm going to fucking kill you, Angie. Second activity is a kayak in sub-zero degree weather. It's like winter out there. You're going to put me in a fucking kayak?
No way. So they split up into groups and everything, or they decide they're going to split up. And so now we have Mary, Meredith, and Brittany getting ready to go fishing, and they're playing their camcorders. And then Joe and Dusty are there. They're the fishing guys. They're like putting on boots and stuff. And then Heather, Whitney, and Bronwyn are going to go kayaking with a guy named Kevin. And Bronwyn's like, I've never kayaked. Never kayaked. And Heather's like, well, there's 2 kayaks, though. It's a single and a double. We should get together in it. So basically, Bronwyn and Heather get into a kayak together. And, Whitney's saying, Heather and Bronwyn are a tough case. I'm going to stick them in a kayak together until they work out their problems. I'm going to parent trap them.
Well, perhaps I'll take this opportunity to teach Bronwyn how to do a kayak death roll, and hopefully she won't get stuck. Burn.
By the way, in the summer, the Lifetime Cafe has a delicious lobster roll. Speaking of rolls, available for a low price if you're a membership of the gym.
So this is wacky times. They get in the kayaks. It's crazy. They're hard to drive. And Bronwyn and Heather have a few laughs together. So, they're friends now, I guess, for this 5 minutes. And then the fly fishing girls, Meredith is... She's like, all right, so I'm supposed to cast this like a rainbow. Is that right? And he's like, correct. Yeah. Well, I'm a good rainbow thrower. Who knew? Just threw Brooks into the workforce. So that was rainbow toddler thrower. And Brittany is casting hers. And then
Meredith fly fishing is how I would imagine she would conduct a symphony. She's like, just flopping her wrist left and right, just very slowly, being like, well, I hope I catch a fish. All right, didn't catch a fish. I'm ready to sit down now.
Well, I'm not really a fisherman. I don't know anything about fish other than it's where I get my caviar. So Meredith is like, so how long does it typically take to catch a fish? He's like, well, that's $1 trillion question, ma'am. Well, is it like 5 minutes? Is it 5 hours? I mean, how long do I have to stand here?
We call it fishing, not catching. Well, that's a terrible brand. I'm just going to, I don't like this at all. Mary's like, well, I'll feel bad. I'm going to want to throw it back out and free it. Okay. Because first of all, it's going to choke. And I'm going to have to try and resuscitate it if we leave it out. And I don't want to have to do like fish CPR. How do you do that, Mary?
Like, Mary tells the guy, she goes, so what's your name again? He goes, Dusty. Gusty? Dusty. Gusty? Dusty. Gusty. Gusty would know. Ask Gusty. It's like, yeah, we can't bring them back to life once they're dead. Mary is like, you can't bring them back? Oh my God, that's not true. That's not true. I'll just put it on the side of the rock. Do CPR. What?
But then what if I use a defibrillator? That's definitely not going to bring the fish back. You'll just have dinner at that point. Oh. Okay.
So they just stare at Mary for a minute, and then Meredith goes, okay, but like seriously, most days, how long does it take to catch a fish? Can we just get back to that?
I have to feed my toddler soon. This is taking way too long. So then it's a commercial break, and now we're on Heather Cam, and Heather is approaching the camping guide, Kevin. And she's like, so I have a question. Is this not like the area where the legend of Molly Sorensen happened? And he's like, it is. And she was the fundamentalist Mormon that made it her mission to find girls that would come up here to make out with their boyfriends or sin, and she would kidnap them and sacrifice them. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but since you want me to play along, I'll say, sure, this is the story.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a real legend because I looked it up and I saw nothing about Molly Sorensen.
Yeah, I've never heard it, but I've never been like a virginal innocent person that gets killed for having sex, you know? So I don't know. But Kevin's like, yeah, we hear screams all through the night. You know, we thought they'd be owls, but that's not how owls sound. And some people come up missing. She's like, oh, so are we going to be okay? She goes, listen, we've got a lot of sinners over here. So the sun goes down and we see Angie Cam. And so they're going to make a fire. And this cast, another reason this cast is so real, they make a fire. It's blowing smoke in all of their faces. No one can breathe. And they're like, we're shooting here. So that's it. We're just going to sit here and we're going to fucking take it.
Truly. So they all are like gathering around this fire and they're going to cook their dinner, which is unfortunately this is not an A+ experience for them because the groceries are very spotty. We did not unfortunately have a scene like we did on Beverly Hills where they actually went into a supermarket and were like, oh my God, they actually sell hot dog buns here, not just hot dogs. What is this miracle place?
But Angie doesn't really eat. I mean, we've seen clips. You know how Angie's like, I am going to have a scene with my father where I show him how I cook. It's like she doesn't seem to really know what she's making. It's like, here is a grilled piece of salmon. And
she was going to bring like a whole lamb to cook on that campfire. And like, Angie, we can't do a lamb. Can you just bring some hot dogs? That's fine. So basically she got hot dogs, but she didn't get buns and she didn't like get napkins or something, or she really missed, like, she didn't get ketchup. So they kind of are like putting together this like slapdash kind of barbecue thing. Mary just pulls out some supermarket bagel and then she starts eating it like a piece of bread in a way that was like really weird to me. She's just biting into it. And they all looked like they were starving and unhappy.
Yeah, pretty much. And the best part was she brought a bag of asparagus with no way to cook the asparagus.
Just a bag of asparagus.
Yeah. So then they all laugh about that stuff. And then they eat some raw hot dogs, and we don't get any Beverly Hills like, oh my God, a hot dog. I eat one hot dog every year.
Yeah.
Hot dogs are good once a year. And Erica like, look at me eating a hot dog. Look at me. I'm going to eat a hot dog too. Yep, here it goes. Eating a hot dog. Me too. You first. Okay. I ate some.
Yeah,
why is there a hot dog in the bush?
Yeah, there's definitely none of that performative, like, we're like celebrities. They're just like us moments like they do on Beverly Hills. Because actually, like, what we do see is that the few people who do eat hot dogs, they've kind of like curled the hot dogs up in like there's like burger buns. So they're like eating them in the burger buns in that way. And you know that like if it were on Beverly Hills, they would not know what to do. Like, well, first of all, they wouldn't even have the bun. And second of all, they would not know, well, we don't have hot dog buns. We have these burger buns, but I don't know. The hot dog is not the same shape as the burger bun, so we can't use it. Oh, well, I guess we're just not going to have dinner tonight.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be something that they would be able to figure out. But on this show, they're all sitting there with their hot dogs and the burger buns, which, by the way, for the record, I hate that. I hate having a hot dog in a breaded product that is not a hot dog bun. It's so annoying, right? You have all that like like when you have the part that sticks out from the bread that doesn't have any bread with it. So you're just eating like solo hot dog. And then when you get to the bread, there's too much bread. Ugh. Hate it.
I don't think there's ever too much bread. I'm just in it for the buns.
The proportion's wrong. Proportion's wrong when you have it like in a slice of bread.
Yeah, it's not well thought out. But hot dogs in general, everybody knows, they're not well thought out. They don't fit in the bun properly. And then you've got the whole, like, there's a certain amount of hot dogs in the package and there's one fewer bun. So it never really makes sense.
It's the worst grift. It's the worst grift that we've all
hot dogs have been fucking us over for years. No one's really ever done anything about it. And look at Congress is like trying to fix all this bullshit that doesn't need fixing. Like, get in there and deal with the hot dog people.
I was just about to say that. Why can't like let's put some of this energy into something that's really useful, like getting hot dog buns and hot dog packages on the same page. Okay, it's time that we address this.
So Heather says, Bronwyn, when you were at BYU, did you ever hear of creepy stuff that would happen at Provo Canyon? And she's like, of course I did. Yeah, because girls would go missing. Is that true? I've heard stories. I've heard a lot of stories that girls would come to Provo Canyon and there were things about their businesses and they weren't going right. And I'll tell you that much. I'm not sure if they're true, but I will tell you that I've heard them. I've heard them.
That's why whenever you go into any Italian deli, they always say, don't go to Provo alone. Don't go to Provo alone. Don't think that's what they're saying.
Well, I don't want to put a damper on this trip, but I love provolone. And this canyon is notorious for like freaky shit. And it's the legend of Molly Sorensen, the polygamist girl who escaped the colony and had been seeking retaliation on the community ever since, on young girls mostly. And Angie goes, what community? And Meredith goes, well, yeah, we're not young. We're safe.
I think we've aged out of being abducted by ghosts, so I'm not too concerned. And if I do see a ghost, I'll say, you can't leave.
I'm just saying it's freaky. It's freaky. Girls go missing. And women that had like sinned, and she would basically bring them to justice. That's what would happen. She would take virgins and then she would murder them. No, she would take virgins who became sluts and then she would murder them for becoming sluts.
Heather is definitely regressing to her like 12-year-old self on a sleepover, trying to scare all the other girls. And like, no one cares.
Yeah.
I mean, I never would have been a good time girl at BYU because I knew the legend of Molly Sorensen. What happens to good time girls, and what you don't want to mess with her, because we talked about it all the time at BYU, especially when we were freshmen, especially when we were out partying and flashing guys with our tits because we're good time girls. Oops, didn't mean to say that part.
It's 6 years later, and Heather is still worried about being called a good time girl. I love it. I love that this tortures her whole life. It's like she's never going to let it go. She's like, I couldn't have been a good time girl. I was afraid of Molly Sorensen. You see, all these years later, still proving my point.
You know, I heard that Molly Sorensen goes and abducts people who use a thumbs up emoji, which is why I never would use that in a phone text.
Molly Sorensen would murder people by sending them a thumbs up text emoji, which everybody knows means you're about to die, you slut. Everybody knows it.
So,
Heather, we forgot to Google murders in Provo Canyon. Whitney's like, Angie didn't do the research. So Heather's like, you guys might be surprised to see me helping Bronwyn with her hot dog, but I'm a good person because when you're in nature, it puts everything into perspective. It's just so beautiful.
Yes, everything's in perspective, which means that you can help someone else when their hot dog gets stuck on their little fork thing. So Bronwyn's like, yeah, we really, we kayaked it out. It was really fun. Wow. Is it really nature? Or do you think it's actually just fun that we're on a trip without Lisa and you can actually just be yourself? And Heather goes, that's a shitty thing to say, Angie, even though I was definitely thinking that.
No, really, though. You don't think I'm myself around Lisa? You don't? I'm not myself around Lisa Barlow? Well, would you be nice to Bronwyn if Lisa was here? Well, I think that I would have had a good moment with her on a kayak, for sure. For sure I would. And they're like, wow, Heather finally being herself without Lisa, which is so silly. Heather's been friends with Lisa for 5 minutes.
Yeah. But also, hasn't this been like an ongoing well that they go to on this show? For a while it was Heather's a different person when she's not around Jen Shaw. And then did Heather say this about Lisa at some point? Like Lisa's a better person when she's maybe not around Meredith. I don't know. That part may be a confabulation on my part. But basically they're saying to Heather, like, yeah, look, you're so much more fun without Lisa around. Gosh. And Heather's like, well, I mean, okay, my stuff with Bronwyn is not about Lisa. And I thought it was worse that you jumped on board with it. And when he's like, but it's like hard if you're like on the outs. I think with like Lisa, can someone interrupt me? I don't really know where my sentence is going.
But who feels on the outs with Lisa right now besides Bronwyn? Anybody? And Whitney's like, hello. Yeah, the very next day after New York, Lisa went online and started calling me a liar again. It was horrible. Well, because you were lying about her in the reunion. That's why she was doing it. She's making her sound like she's being bullied. And Meredith's like, oh, and you didn't do anything online. You didn't do anything. I haven't done one thing. I stayed off.
Yeah. When anytime something went on sale, the new iPhone went on sale, and I was like, I'm not getting in that line. I'm offline.
Brittany's like, well, I think that's like a little hypocritical because, like, I have a question. Okay, I have a question. Why would you even say something so horrific? Like, you just, I can't even say it. It's so crass. But you said you do Jared for money. How could you even say something like that, Whitney?
Geez,
How
shut
could
up.
you?
Everybody just groans. They're like, oh, shut up. There's like, is Brittany even a part of the same conversation? What is she talking about? And Whitney's like, I didn't say you did. I asked if you did. Yes, you did. You did say it. You said, why do you have sex with Jared for money? That's exactly what you said. No, I posed it as a question. Oh, she didn't say you have sex. By the way, she said you suck dick.
She said, you suck dick. Am I right? Question mark. So it's a question. So Whitney's like,
Yeah. When you came for my business, I put it back on you and I said, what do you do for money? And then I said, ha, because that was stronger. And yeah, I'm not proud that I said you suck Jared's dick, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I said that.
What does that have to do with people shading your business online? Why can't I shade your business online without being called a deep putter in her mouther?
Because it hurt, Brittany. It hurt.
But you literally out of the blue said, Brittany, USD for Jared. I mean,
Cause you out of the blue brought up my business, Brittany.
no, because you were trying to shade Lisa and I was defending her. That's why.
No, Lisa's not a window. I wasn't trying to shade her.
Then why would you say that when you were like getting dragged on social media? That's a new low, Whitney. That is a new low. And I'm really disappointed. It's a real new low. It's
because I had a business that failed. Okay, that's it. Justin went in all with me and now we have nothing. It failed. It failed real bad.
okay. I don't have a business pending lawsuits and in like general is in legal turmoil. Like I have a business that failed. I had to fire 30 employees. Do you think that was fun? It wasn't fun. Okay.
Although we did have a little bit of like we put out some lemonade and put out party hats and said, congrats. Now that you're fired, you get a free piece of Prism jewelry. So it was actually like firing them was pretty fun now that I think about it. We had a great time.
Yeah, but Whitney, that's why it's so hypocritical for you to be making fun of somebody else's troubles that they're having in business.
Yeah.
Do you not see that this is exactly why you're a fucking hypocrite? But she's put on the victim cloak, so it has shielded her. So so now everybody's just like, they're just staring at her. And Brahma goes,
It's a good one.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that your business failed.
failed.
Yeah, I didn't know it failed.
failed.
I didn't know.
I felt it's something I was really excited about. And that started as a massive success. And by started as a massive success, I sold a few things. And then it just went downhill from there. Then I failed.
Yeah, her whole changing the name of the company halfway through was stupid. Like you've worked all these years on building a brand and then you're like, nah, I'm going to just change it. And change everything about it. And then pretend I'm designing jewelry that I'm getting off of Temu or whatever.
Was it Milo and...
The first one was Whitney Rose,
Milo.
wasn't it? Wasn't it just like Whitney Rose? And then she changed it to the name of her kids and then she had Prism. So I'm not really sure which one failed, but it's a lot of changes there. Not a lot of consistency. So she's like, I'm not a stranger to the ebbs and flows of business, but I have never actually had something just flat out tank. We're talking millions, thousands, and it's just so emotionally hard for me because I didn't just fail myself. I failed my employees. I failed my customers. I failed my family. Like, I just felt like the weight of everyone this is affected. I felt how much I failed. You know what I mean?
I feel like there was like a confessional look a year or two ago that you could say did tank. I think you did tank on at least one thing so far.
But I failed. You're like, I made a bad choice and I'm cleaning up all the shit from it. Which is that I decided to take a poop with a toilet seat down. It was a terrible choice and now I'm cleaning it up. But I don't need my
I'm sorry, Whit. Okay, I'm sorry. You can say that I suck D for money now. You can say it now. But I don't think you are sorry, because why would you sling mud at me today? Why would you bring it up? Why would you even bring up someone's business? Could you do that to a woman when we're talking about Lisa's business failing?
How could you sling mud at me? It's like, well, to be fair, we are kind of surrounded and sitting in mud. It's almost like anything we do, fling some mud somewhere.
No. So maybe learn the lesson that unless you know facts, you don't go there.
Whitney Rose suddenly getting on a pedestal about facts is hilarious.
Bronwyn has facts. Those are court documents. Mine are TikTokers that want to get famous off of my failure. I just want you to have the facts, and I'm not scared to admit it. I love facts. That's why my favorite show growing up was Different Strokes. I know you thought I was going to say Facts of Life. It wasn't that one, but I like Different Strokes.
I end this by asking everybody sitting here, what you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey.
You know what? That's fair. I'm really sorry, Whitney. I'm really sorry.
No, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. Think about it, Brittany.
I've had so many business failures before Beauty Lab. We don't talk about our losses as women, as sisters. We don't talk about that. We talk about winning. We don't talk about failing. Okay? And I think that this is the time.
That's why
sisters.
I will be talking about my losses in my new New York Times bestseller book, I Just Won. Okay, sorry, continue.
The Winning Mormon by Heather Gay. And Braun was like, but the losses, that's where you learn something. That's where you learn something. You should talk about your loss, which is why I'm going on the TED Talk tour about lying about that necklace, because that wasn't right. That wasn't right.
Hi, Ghost of Lisa Barlow says, I do talk about my losses. For instance, I lost a $60,000 ring in Palm Springs. Yeah, so that was a loss. That was a loss.
Monica has it. Monica's still wearing it in her TikToks. She's still wearing it in her TikToks. I have to say, it takes a lot of courage to be an entrepreneur, or to take a risk, or to start your own business, or to buy an RV, or to have a twin-size bed that you share with your husband. That would never happen. And thanks for being vulnerable, because really, I think all of us are in business or have our own business, know how hard it is. They're like, oh my God, we're just sisters, guys. So Whitney's like, yeah, and I have to watch my back every day that someone's going to write a story. And then Brittany comes up behind her and starts hugging her. And she's like, ew, I'm not ready for a hug. God.
Well, okay, but I still want an apology for the dick sucking comment.
Like, she did apologize, by the way, just now. Oh my God, Brittany, she's like pouring her heart out.
Well, I can still give you sympathy and still think that it was a shitty thing to say.
She's like, okay, let's do one step at a time. One step at a time. Let's go step by step.
I also like that one too. That was up there with Different Strokes.
Okay, sympathy first, and then you can work on apology later.
They're not mutually exclusive, as Meredith would say, okay? Sympathy first, apologies later, Brittany. And so Brittany's like, well, how can she say whatever she wants? But then I make a slight gaffe and I have to fall all over myself apologizing. What's that about? What's it about?
Because it's a gaffe. You have to apologize for your gaffes. So Angie's like, Brittany, you came in hot. She's like, thank you so much. I knew that bikini was the right decision. No, that's not what that means.
Oh, well, I'm just clapping back and just standing up for myself. I felt like I was a punching bag, and I don't want that anymore. I don't want to be a punching bag. Guys, I have an announcement. I'm no longer a punching bag.
Okay, Brittany, we don't want to hear it. The one person who was nice to you, you went after. And in case you can't figure that out, it was me. Remember when you said I was crying in the bathroom late at night? I remember. And you burned this bridge.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested in you. Brittany's like, Meredith, you turned on me on a dime, Meredith. And then we see the recording thing. Are you recording us? I am done with you. I have had enough of you.
We were good friends, then all of a sudden...
Well, no, we were never good friends. We were barely even friends. I barely even knew you. Do not lie.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Lie? Yeah, how many times have I talked to you on the telephone, Brittany? Have I ever picked up the phone and called you? She goes, yes, you have. Yes, you have. What, once? Twice. Twice. So now
That's
they all start
200%
cracking
more
up.
than you thought.
And we also went to lunch for a couple of hours, and that was nice. Don't laugh at me. She's like,
They talked on the phone twice. Ha 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 ha. No, well, you used me. You used me, Meredith. Oh, I used you. Yeah, because I really need you. My toddler is more famous than your fingernail, and I'm the one who used you. I don't think so.
yes, you used me as a punching bag for your latent aggression.
Meredith sees me as the weakest link, and she could just go after me like a target. And I absolutely think that, but she doesn't know me that well.
I'm like, well, you're the one who just was proclaiming that you guys were really good friends. You were the one who just was like, we're really good friends. We spoke on the phone. She doesn't know me that well. Like within like 10 seconds of saying those things.
The fucking Brittany. Well, I don't need a thing from you, and I find you to be absolutely uninteresting. All right, I have zero respect for you. All right, you're like Ro to me. I will always choose caviar. Always.
Okay, listen, guys, Heather Gay here. I have done a little research on the legend of Molly Sorensen. Oh, Mary's like, isn't it time for us to go to bed already? No, don't you want to do a little investigating, Mary? Don't you want to do this? Let's go on a little tour and see what we can find out here in the dark. Like, oh, God.
And Mary's like, in every scary movie, the black person gets killed first. So I'm not I'm not doing this. But they do,
sure?
so they do it.
They're
gonna do it.
So they get on their cameras and Heather's like, locked and loaded, camcorders ready, eyes and ears open, anything spooky, stay in tune with yourself, and if anything happens, scream. That's the first rule. Noise is our friend. Like, is this a rule for Molly Sorensen, or is this their rule for going to a reunion at the end of the season? Oh, did we freeze?
Yeah, we froze for a second. What'd you say?
I said, when she said, if anything happens, scream. That's the first rule. Noise is our friend. I was like, is this for finding Molly Sorensen, or is this like your advice for doing a reunion?
That's how I feel every time I turn on your show. I'm like, noise is our friend. I love the screaming. It feels so good. So think of the legend of Provo Canyon, the things we heard at BYU and heard around the campfire growing up. And most of all, think of the fact that Molly Sorensen is still on the hunt, and she's looking for women with loose morals. And then she shines her camera at Brittany.
Mary goes, why are we walking in the mud? So then there's like a noise. Did you hear that? I don't like this. Let's go. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. They start to run, and then they're freaking out. They've like now like worked themselves into a tizzy. And Heather's like, I don't know how we get home. How do we get home? How do we get home? I'm like, run towards all the light of the production in the corner there.
And Brittany,
you see all those
Brittany looks
production
right into
vehicles?
the camcorder. She puts it right in her face, and she's like,
why, God? She just starts singing her Miss Saigon again.
Well, we can't go forward. I think we need to go back. I don't want to go here. There's no toddlers in this area. I want to go back to the safety.
Yeah. And then we just start hearing screams coming from everywhere. And Meredith's like, I don't like this. I don't like this. And they're standing in the middle of a train track. You see just flashes of lights like they're all going to die. And they end this episode making us think that these women are really going to be killed by Molly Sorensen, the slut killer. And they take themselves completely serious. And I loved it. I was dying.
So funny. Well, again, only this show can have this silly ass thing as an actual, like they said, we're going to start the season off with a cliffhanger about like a ghost that's going to kill the entire cast. That's what production really said. Like, this is where we're going to leave off. And we're all on board.
And that's what they did. And it worked. I loved it. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for being on Crappens On Demand and on Patreon, everywhere else. We'll see you Monday night at 5:30 p.m. Pacific to do some crappy hour. Bye, everybody.
Bye.